Looking for a fun project? Try making a gnome. You're going to start by folding over a piece of felt or whatever kind of fabric you have. You'll fold it so that it's about an inch overlapping. You'll cut up a couple inches and then on the diagonal. You'll find that it's actually fun to make them different sizes. You could make yourself a whole family of gnomes. I'm putting a pin in it so that it stays folded. Now the next step is to cut a little half circle out of the folded edge. And after it's filled with stuffing, that'll be its face. So you're going to need some thread and a needle. When you thread your needle, it's easiest to have just the tiniest bit of thread sticking out between your fingers, and then rather than trying to push the thread into the needle, you'll actually have such a short piece of thread that you can push the needle onto the thread. Put the thread so that you have an overlapping two strands of thread. Cut it when you want the two tails of the thread to be even. You take those two tails and wrap them around your finger in an X shape. You're going to roll that off the end of your finger and then pull it tight, and you'll get a nice chubby knot on the end of your thread so that when you pull through, it'll stay put. So if you want your knot to be hidden, you can start on the inside of the top of the gnome's hat. You'll pull all the way through. And then on this, we're going to use what's called a blanket stitch, where you pull your needle through the fabric and then through the loop of your thread. Through the fabric and through the loop of your thread. When you get down to the edge of the fabric, you're going to want to stitch 3 times in the same spot. 2, 3. If you cut it before you stitch 3 times, the whole thing unravels and you'll have to start again. Okay, so I've snipped the thread. Ow! Still in my pin cushion, taking out the pin. Now we have sort of a hollow gnome here. It really comes to life when you stuff it. So we have, this is llama wool, but you could use any kind of stuffing. My aunt's neighbor has a llama. She offered us the wool. It's very fun. So you can just put one color of stuffing inside and be finished. Or you can have a wiser gnome look. Sometimes it's fun to use a different color or the same color. We think it's hilarious when you stick some in to make it look like it has a beard. Now, as you're cutting out your shape for your gnome, you'll find that the broader you make the base, the easier it is to get them to stand up. So you can do different height gnomes, different width gnomes. This one's having a little trouble standing up. One thing you can do if they're having trouble standing up is you can use an old chopstick or another kind of stick and just wiggle it up inside the gnome. And they can be very funny inside of a plant. Have fun!